Hello, it's Bubba Rocks Media, and welcome to the Rising Band Show. I am super excited. I have stumbled upon this band. They're incredible. Please welcome Dirt. Thanks again for doing this. Honestly, I really appreciate it. And
Likewise.
welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So, I'm a new fan of the band. I actually had people DMing me to reach out to interview you guys, and I'm guessing that was triggered by the release of the new single, because it was going for, I was getting all these DMs, interview Dirt, please interview Dirt. So then, here we are, because I listened to the single and I was blown away. I was like, damn. And when you first listen to a new song and you like it immediately, you don't need to, listen to it a few times. That worked with Born Again. Instantly liked the song. So yay. And here we are now to talk about it. And look, I do understand you guys were, you've been on, I believe it was a bit of a break for a few years, and now you're back. And what I want to know is, what was it that kicked off the new album, and the inspiration behind the new single, Born Again?
Oh, well, the song traces back a couple of years, probably.
Yeah, a year or two.
Yeah, exactly. And from the start, it has been one of the songs that we know it's going to kind of be something. In a way, we've believed in it from the start. And it's basically about a new start for yourself or for something else. That's the inspiration behind it.
And it's basically like based on, because we've been kind of not touring for a couple of years now. We've been we started a couple of years ago focusing on writing the new album after we had a great show with Danko Jones here in Helsinki, and but then it turned out to be super difficult to kind of get to the point of what are we now gonna do. Plus the fact that we had, within the band, we had a lot of internal stuff to deal with and kind of come to terms with, because we have at best like me and our drummer, we've been playing together since we were 13, so that's like almost 20 years now. And so it's like we're not like colleagues, so to speak. It's more like best friends, and sometimes it gets a bit rowdy with friends as well. So yeah, so we had to take some time to figure stuff out, and then eventually, we got better with everything. We got better in how to be a band, and we've been writing constantly all the time. And then when Seba did our other guitarist, Sebastian Frigren, he did the riff for the Born Again. It was like, this is so stupid, it's fucking amazing. And so that's how we got started. And ever since we got the vocals on it, then it's easy, really. You're like, yeah, this is the first song I want people to hear after 3 years of not releasing music.
Yeah.
It is a brilliant song, and like I said, I love riffs. It's my favorite thing. Like, a good riff is, it just makes a song. And I've noticed that you guys do that all the way through your songs. Brilliant riffs. You're riff masters, so I want to talk more about that later. But look, we're going to actually play the first song, which is the new one, Born Again. Here it is. That song, like I said, now you guys listening and watching, you see what I mean. And like you mentioned there, the band, like you guys started, was it around 2016? That's when the band itself, like Dirt, started. And then also what I'd love to know is the name of the band. It's a unique name. Is it, I don't know, sometimes I get quite deep and I look into things and I overthink, but is it related to the sound of the band? Because to me, I've always loved riffs, right? And to me, a good dirty riff, and I don't know if it's maybe linked to that, because I'm hearing elements of metal, I'm hearing elements of rock, and then a bit of grunge and a dirty sound to it that I absolutely love. So is that what it's linked to, or was it just rock, paper, scissors, and you just came up with that name?
I think our drummer came up with the name. We had a couple of bad ideas at first, and then he was like, "How about dirt?" Because that pretty much sounds like how it is.
Yeah, pretty much. I think our drummer Alex, he said, "What about dirt?" And then we're like, we can't be dirt. That's like the Alice in Chains album, which is an amazing album." So we're like, no, but we can't do that because then people are gonna be like, "Ooh, you're Alice in Chains, whatever." And then we came up with some more pretty bad ideas, and then at some point, I guess we just got tired and went back to like, yeah, I guess dirt is pretty good, and we gotta make a decision so we can like move forward. And thus, dirt became our name. And yes, it does actually suit us quite well because we're not that polished of a band, I guess. We have a lot of influences from the metal side of things because pretty much almost the whole band is like has a background in thrash metal, death metal, and stuff. So we are pretty much grown up with metal, but then at some point we figured we want to play rock music. So
yeah.
I love that. Like, I always like to ask these stories, just behind the names, because some of them are like, a whole big thing, and then some of them are just something really, yeah, that'll do. So it's always cool to hear that kind of thing. But look, you guys are no strangers to evolving as a band. And I do feel that is the natural kind of progression of any band. I do feel that bands need to go through that kind of process. But I get a lot of DMs from brand new bands starting out who feel that they have to be figured out straight away, perfect straight away, have the right sound, the right name, the right look, the right lineup. Everything has to be ready now to go. Do you feel that is just not the case? And what would you advise these kids?
I mean, it's hard to say really because the times are changing. TikTok is something which makes it easier for new bands to come along, and nowadays it's more of a social media thing at first to have a band. At least in Finland, nobody's touring anymore. These like youth houses that we have around Finland. Back in the day when we were young, we used to play gigs all the time, and that's changed. New bands play less gigs nowadays. At least that comes to mind. What do you think?
I mean, there could be a ton, and because I am exposed to a lot of music all day, every day because of my work in a record label. So it's like on top of making music and making it as a band, I work with a lot of bands. And I think one thing or a few things good to keep in mind is to not take everything too damn seriously because it just ruins the vibe. And you really gotta have fun to do this, like in a with longevity. You need to have fun. If this isn't fun, go do something else. And then I think also one thing that is important is to look what everybody else is doing and then do the other way. So when everyone goes right, take a left.
I love that. That's rock and roll.
So that could be like because that's what Dirt's been doing ever since the beginning. Like, oh, let's make promo pictures that has this thing because no one else has kind of done it, or let's come up with something like this in this music because no one else is doing it anyway. So then it kind of helps you stick out because it's always better to stick out like a sore thumb than to go the safe way and just be among in this day and age because there's so much of everything going constantly all the time.
Yeah, and the point I probably had previously was that social media has changed the approach, because everybody's expecting so much from the start, because that's well, the world is kind of open there right before your eyes, and you expect to be great because that's pretty much all you see, perfection. And we come from a place where back in the day when we started our first bands, there was practically no social media. Maybe MySpace.
The good old days.
The good old days. We played a ton of gigs each, and well, that's where we came from. And nowadays we play live in studio as well, and I believe that's enabled by the playing that we've done so much back in the day together. And it's different nowadays.
So we're talking about social media, and basically I agree. Like I was saying, the kids do feel, and it might well be to do with social media, and that is why, they feel they have to be perfect. But like what you said as well was, just to not be afraid to be a rebel and move differently. I think that's like brilliant advice, and actually that's the rock and roll way. And I think kids should pay more heed to that rather than trying to be perfect and fit in, because it just breaks. You have to break the rules, don't you?
Yeah, because perfection, like as a concept, just doesn't even exist. But then when we spend a lot of time in a world that is it's roaming around perfection, you can also see it as a way to not be like the others and just be unperfect, because basically everyone is. So I guess kind of like do you stop trying too hard? I think that can be a really good thing, and just have fun with it. Super important to have fun with everything.
Absolutely. And you see, for you guys with your creative process, like when you're actually doing the songs, like, because I've noticed like the riffs are pretty like poignant with all of your songs, I'm wondering what comes first. Is it the riff? Is it the vocals? Is it the theme of the song? Like, what way does it work for you guys as a band? Because like my partner, my son, they're both musicians as well. And when they're writing it, they tend to wait for the song to come. And actually, when I was speaking with Juha from Swallow the Sun, he said the same thing. He waits for the music to come. So is it the same for you guys? Do you wait for the riff to come? Is that how it starts, or is it depending on the song?
I think we usually have the riff first, and then we usually come up with some melody that can be used as a vocal melody or some other key element in a song. So basically riff is usually the one that comes first.
Yeah, usually, yeah. And then about like the whole being creative thing, because I mean, it's nice when the song comes to you, but it's not always like that. And still the songs ain't gonna write themselves.
Yeah.
So it sometimes also depends on the inspiration, because it's lovely when the songs come to you and you get excited, but then there's also a lot of times like writing music and it's like I don't even like the things I hear, then I'm like, oh fuck, but okay, let's give it a shot. Then you kind of take it out, and then someone comes in and they're like, hey, that thing right there, and then 5 minutes later you have something that didn't even exist. So that's super common. It's pretty joint progress. Usually it starts with a riff or a chorus idea, and then it's panic and chaos until it's a good song.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. That's our process in a nutshell. I believe we had an enlightenment moment some time ago, because we've also waited around for the inspiration to come quite often, but I think we kind of realized that the inspiration can also come if we just come here and try to write something. and usually it results as a situation where somebody gets excited and somebody gets the inspiration. So if you don't go to rehearsal place to try to write something, that inspiration might not never come. So we've been kind of changing
Yeah, we've been
with this one.
trying a lot of different process and but what Aleksi said, it's makes good sense, because about the getting excited thing. Getting excited happens when you're having fun. So then again, have fun. Because if you don't have fun, if you go with the mindset that, oh, now I'm gonna go there again and try, let's see what happens. You know, it's not a very positive place to start. Versus if you just go like, you know, screw it and have fun with it, and then someone gets excited and they're like, and then something happens that didn't exist before.
Yeah, and it's a chain reaction, and all of a sudden everybody's excited.
Yeah.
Also, for the new bands, one more tip: if you try too hard to make a hit song, it probably doesn't happen. I mean, if you try real hard and think of it too hard, it's just trying too hard, basically. Just have fun with it, fool around with it. If it feels good, that's great. If it's the worst song you've ever made, I believe it's still got to be made so you can move on to the next song eventually.
It's better than the song that you did not write.
Yeah, exactly.
Well said. And actually that kind of leans into something else that I get asked quite a lot by the kids, and it's about imposter syndrome. When they're first starting out, you know, all that self-doubt, all the voices in the head, and then it's like, how do you know? Is it a gut feeling, or, you know, is it like as a band together? How do you know that the song is right for the album? You know, or is that something you just learn over experience?
I don't, you know, I don't have an answer to that question because I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
Is the song right for the album? Because there's so different, there's many different opinions. You might listen to this thing and be like, no. And then everyone else is like, what do you mean? Of course it is. Happens all the time. And then you kind of have to let go and back up a little bit and be like, well, if someone's excited, let's just give it a chance. And maybe it is the song that should definitely be in the album.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, because you have so many pre-expectations about what you do, then it kind of starts poking you in bad ways. Versus of just being kind of like, we did this, let's just trust it. If it works, great. If it goes to shit, great. You know, and not like put too much emphasis into it.
Yeah, because there's always another song coming up.
Yeah,
always. There's always a next one. So you just have to make the one that you're making, or you can just leave it and move on to the next one.
Yeah, and then you write 25 songs, and 24 of them are like, and then there's the one, and that is like, fuck yeah, and that's like the Born Again. Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
So.
Brilliant advice again, as always, guys. Thank you. And the kids really do. They genuinely need to know these things. You know, they need the reality checks, and then they also need, you know, the hope as well, so that they don't give up. Because we need the bands to keep coming. And this is why I do this. But look, we're going to play another song now, and this time we're going with "Real World." Love this song as well, and love the riffs again. And what I'd love to ask you guys is, what is your favorite thing about this song? Is there something that stood out from the song, even from its creation process,
the
or
guitar
just
solo?
Yes, it is.
For me, at least.
Oh, okay. Now you're back. You froze a bit. Oh
no,
favorite...
I'm back now.
Yeah, we're back. About the favorite thing of the song.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, the guitar solo is nice because it's kind of the first Dirt song where we realized that, hey, we can just play like guitar solos at the same time, because that's what we do a lot with Seba, our other guitarist these days, is that we play solos at the same time, So it's quite nice. But I don't know. It has back when I came up with that riff, I figured it was super, super, super annoying. I was like borderline hating the riff. I was like, oh, this is gonna be great because this is so annoying. And then it turned out to be really amazing. So,
yeah, totally. I mean, I love the all-around vibe as well. It's just, I love to sing that song. It hits the right spot. I don't know. It feels good every single time still.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm a dopamine chaser with songs, so it does that one for me. I really like that part of it. But look, what I also like to ask bands in general is, what do you, as a band, what is your message for your fans? What do you hope the fans feel from the music? What do they take from it?
Oh, that's a good question.
It is.
A lot of this has to do with for me personally, it's like I love music and I love playing music, especially with these guys. And playing music with these guys makes me happy, and that's why I'm doing it, basically. So it's not like, I don't know about the whole message thing, but I was thinking what you previously asked about the whole imposter syndrome. And I feel like, talking about these kind of stuff, because there are a lot of bands and aspiring musicians out there who probably struggle with the same things we struggled, still struggle and everything. And so I was just kind of like circling back to when you asked about the imposter syndrome thing, because that's a very real thing again. And I know a lot of bands are gonna have to go through that until they just stop caring too much about it. So I guess that's again like the whole doing music, like if you do it for the right reasons, I believe, and you feel good doing it, then however it is you're doing it that feels the best for you, that's the right way, not what you think it should be.
Brilliant. Yeah, that makes sense. And moving on now, for the new album coming soon, I'm curious, is there anything that you can give away? Just what can we expect from it? Is there anything that you can give away about it? Because I know is it coming soon, or?
To be announced.
Yeah.
We don't know yet either. We have some business to take care at first.
At the moment we're without a label, and we're gonna go crack the remaining 7 tracks in a few weeks. So then, but the goal is to have the album out by maybe Q3 26. So I think that's
maybe.
But we have some shopping to do here and all that jazz. So that's why it's impossible to give like any solid answers on this question of yours.
But
it's actually a very it's one of the questions that the fans have been DMing me. Ask them, when's it coming out?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. We'll keep you
Next
posted.
year.
And one thing I can say, it's going to be a versatile package of what Dirt is today.
Interesting.
In very various types of things.
But that's the thing, because we haven't finished the record yet.
Exactly.
We're gonna go. We still have 7 songs to finish up, record, and then it's about going to the studio and just be like, let's have fun with it. So it's not carved in stone that Dirt's second album is gonna be like this album, because the first album was like that. So it's more gonna be we're gonna go to the album and we can give you a better answer after we have come out from the studio. Yeah.
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 Well, no, that's good too, though, because there's a reality check too, and I like that there's no pressure on it because it is, like you said, it's supposed to be fun as well, so you aren't putting yourselves under pressure, which is something else that the kids need to see and learn. That they're not rushing it, and it has to be out by a certain date. Like I'm loving seeing this actually with other bands as well, that they're not putting themselves under pressure to have an album out by a certain date within a certain time frame. That's really good to see. But I have this weird question I like to ask, and it was just basically I was talking to, I can't remember who it was a few years back now, and it was the weirdest place that a riff or a melody has come to you as a songwriter, and this guy in particular, it was in the middle of his best friend's wedding, when the bride was coming down the aisle, and he's standing there, and this killer riff just comes into his head, and he can't go anywhere, he can't do anything, and he has to play it over and over in his head continuously, and still remember to hand over the rings and do all of that and wait until the ceremony's done. And then he was able to, pop it into a dictaphone that he always carried around with him. But like, has there ever been anything weird for you guys where you've had a riff come in and, like you don't know, you haven't been able to get it recorded straight away?
So many times.
Yeah.
Happens. Yeah.
Usually it's the weirdest place where it happens.
It's definitely the place where it shouldn't happen.
Yeah, exactly. And also when you're going to sleep at night.
Yeah.
That's the main source of ideas, really. You're just going to sleep and you feel like I'm really tired and I might catch sleep real soon. And that's when the idea comes.
Yeah.
And you just have to get up and write it down because you're never going to get back.
Yeah, you won't remember it.
Yeah.
No, that's like a solid advice.
Mm-hmm.
When you're falling into your subconscious and you're laying in your bed and you have the drool already coming on everything. And when the riff or the song or whatever comes, don't be the fool I am and think you're gonna remember it the next day. Yeah. So it's just take it, and but yeah, it's the whole creative when the music comes to you when you don't have to work for it. It does happen in very interesting places, and that's a kind of cool thing because like it's nice to have a microphone on your phone so you can be like, just hold that thought and jump. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then you can write a song in your head when you're out doing something and you're just not present. You're walking around like a zombie, like everybody's like, look at this guy here, have a load of him, But it happens in different places.
It does.
A
couple of years back, we were just going on stage. I believe it was in Tuska, actually, in 2023, and it was like 5 minutes till showtime, and I got this idea that I needed to go, like, I went to a bathroom and just recorded it to my phone. Usually it's like, that doesn't happen because you're in a zone already. You're already going to the stage with like full makeup and all that jazz. And but that was a bit weird for me to have an idea at that point. I don't think.
But you still got it recorded though, didn't you? You made sure you got it recorded before you went on, yeah?
Yeah.
Damn right. Because you would forget.
No, that's the thing, because as soon as you kind of focus on something else, you're like, oh,
yeah,
what was that thing again? And maybe you find it, but it doesn't sound as good anymore.
Yeah.
So, yeah. A lot of hits have gone down the drain by not reacting in time. So,
there you go, kids. Have a dictaphone, or no, nowadays I suppose you can use your phone. They all have dictaphones on them too. So there's always something to be able to record it on. Yeah. For me, it was always like I'll think of a decent question, for a band if I've, the interview the next day, and I'm like you said, Alex, just at bedtime, that's when the questions all come into my head as well, and you're like, oh, shut up, I need sleep. It's so true. It is so true. All right, well, look, we're going to play another song. And this time it is God Has Cut You Down.
You will burn. Your God has cut you down. No one to pray for now.
So again, more great riffs in that one, and a powerful song, actually, with a powerful meaning. Alex, you're the one who does the lyrics for it, is that right?
Yes.
Right. So I'm curious then, have you always just been able to write lyrics, or was there somebody that like inspired you to do it, or that has inspired your style even of lyrics, of writing them?
I'm inspired by a lot of things, but usually it has to be something that affects me personally. I'm not very good at writing about medieval wars or something like that. It usually has to be something personal. When it comes to God Has Cut You Down, the whole idea came from a newspaper that I read, where this Catholic priest had molested tens of young boys, and I was furious, and I wrote the lyrics pretty much on that spot. Of course, perfecting them while going to the studio, but anyhow, that was also a personal feeling, very strong personal feeling that inspired the lyrics. But the main source for lyrics is usually my personal life or somebody who's close to me as a person and that person's life, because well, I feel like I can put more emotion to it when it affects me personally. It just feels right to do so.
Yeah. Even from a recording perspective too, you know, you can feel the emotion, and that's how, you know, you always know that it's being done, you know, naturally by you, because you can feel it when it's being recorded in the songs. And when you're in the recording studio, do you need to go to a certain place when it is so personal to you, to pull that emotion out and have that come across within the recording as well?
I like to take my time and space, to be able to get into that mood, what this song requires. But also the studio days are long, so I have plenty of time to go through the song again and again, so I'm able to get all the emotion out of it that I feel it needs. But yeah, usually a dark room does wonders. Maybe candles or something, just to bring out the mood that the song needs. I require the time and space for the mood to come out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it works because it definitely comes across in the music, because I'm the type of person, I will always connect with the songs emotionally. You know, it's always been an emotion thing since forever, for as long as I can remember as a kid, even as well. And the other thing that I like to ask is, in the recording studio, do you have rituals that you must adhere to in order to be able to get like a superstition, you know, within the recording studio? I know Ozzy Osbourne himself, he said that he used to have to sacrifice a firstborn before he would get into the studio. There was another guy, there was a drummer, and he said that he had to have a certain stool in the studio or he wouldn't be able to record. And then I've spoken to other artists who've said they won't brush their hair, silly wee things like that. But do you guys have anything that you must do in the studio, or has that not happened yet for you?
Do you have anything?
We do smoke a lot of cigarettes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess, you know,
I don't, but they do.
yeah. But I don't think we have any like.
I do a few. I
mean, maybe. Yeah. Well, you can go ahead. And, yeah. I don't. I smoke cigarettes sometimes before we take a take, and that's it. You know. So.
Yeah. I mean,
so that's it.
Maybe these are quite basic things, but I like to do certain things in order to open my voice and have certain drinks with me. Also, I need a time alone for a few minutes at least, preferably in silence. I think that's pretty basic stuff. So no sacrifices or anything like that. Really, just basic stuff. Yeah, I feel like I need to do those things in certain order to be able to deliver the best.
Yeah, and that's actually I did come up with something
Mhm.
because like in the studio, I like to like feel cool. Yeah. I can't record some heavy riffs and heavy songs in my underwear, you know.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are, they look like they're just got the Sunday paper, you know. They're about to have some morning coffee or something.
Yeah.
I can't do that. So I like to kind of like wear some clothes that I feel like are like, you know, like
Mhm.
hell yeah. And then you kind of, it puts you in the vibe,
Mhm.
you know. Sometimes it might require sunglasses. If you're like,
Of course,
you know,
it does.
let's get it. Then you're like, put the
Mhm.
glasses on and you're feeling good and you know, like
Okay, now we need that one take.
yeah,
Hold up.
yeah.
Let me
Then
get my
everybody's like
glasses.
with the sunglasses and it's like, yeah, you're ready. Then like hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
But it
yeah,
does affect the mood, you know.
it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you feel good. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Actually, now when I think of it, I like to dress up for rehearsals sometimes as well, because I feel more rock and roll. So the result might be better. Who knows?
yes, and rock and roll is a feel.
It
That's
is.
all it is.
it is.
Yeah, like the attitude, or but it's a feel, you know.
Yeah.
So so it helps to feel rock and roll when you make rock and roll.
Mhm.
Well, there you go. There is
Yeah.
something. Then you have to get into character and get that out. You're right. And actually, just you did mention there, Alex, about opening up your voice, and this is something that I do get asked a lot by the kids who are starting out. What can they do to help, because they're still, you know, learning and developing and testing their voices.
Mhm.
Do you have any tips for them to be able to test their vocals without damaging them too much? You know, is there anything at all that you can recommend to them?
Warm up every day before you start singing. Also, do not sing too much. There's no point in singing 4 hours in a row every day. Half an hour is plenty, really. 1 hour is enough. Studio is obviously different. That's where you need to deliver quite a few hours in a row, but that's also an exception. And it's also it has quite a lot of breaks when you're in the studio, so it's not like constant singing several hours in a row. But yeah, try to do it as often as possible, but not too much. Half an hour is plenty. Like I said, 1 hour is very good enough. I mean, usual gig doesn't last longer than that. And yeah, that's what I've learned pretty much.
Perfect. And actually, this is one of my favorite questions to ask any musician. And it's the first time that you ever performed. Do you remember it? Were you 5? Were you 12? Like, this is the first time you got on stage in front of an audience to perform. And obviously something happened to make you go, yep, this is what I want to do. Because when I was a kid, I was forced onto the stage to do dancing and I hated it. And it put me off. I will never get on a stage ever again. I have nightmares about getting on a stage. So can you remember, was there a time where it just clicked and you went, yep, this is what I want to do?
Well, basically, I think I started playing guitar when I was 9. I studied classical music for 10 years. And while studying that, it's like you're constantly performing while you study. So I got used to that in a very young age. And I started like playing concerts when I was 9, and I would shit my pants vulgarly every time, until at some moment you just don't do it anymore because you stop caring, I guess, or like being too like just you start relaxing and be like, yeah, I got it, But my first performance was actually it was in a school like talent show,
Nice.
and I had just learned the melody for "Yesterday" by the Beatles.
I love that song.
Me too. It's amazing.
That's one of my favorite songs of all
Want to
time.
listen to Beatles.
Mhm.
And so yeah, I sat there and I only played the melody alone. So that was my first performance.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think, yeah.
I think mine was on 7th grade, maybe. It was in school as well. I played
Mhm.
drums to Nirvana's version of The Man Who Sold the World in front of the whole school. And though it's a fairly easy song, I was 13, I think. So it was exciting.
Mm.
But I also realized I had kind of visioned already before that this is going to be something I'm going to explore in life. And that was kind of confirmation to it. I was shit scared, really, to play in front of the audience, but also the euphoria that comes right after the show was like, it was phenomenal. I
The
knew,
validation.
yeah, exactly that as well. To a young man, it was something. Yeah, it was great. I knew straight away this is something I'm going to explore.
Yeah. And then I just like remember the moment when it clicked to me that I was like, yes. I think it was right before I got my first guitar, so I must have been like 8, maybe.
Mm.
And I think like I saw Eric Clapton live on TV, and I was like, looking at mom and dad, I'm like,
Slow hand.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
it can't be anything cooler than what this guy's doing. Like, get me a guitar. So that was it,
Yeah.
And then when I was 13, I got serious. I decided to quit everything else I was doing except school, of course.
Mm.
But all the other hobbies, I was like, no, I'm gonna play guitar. I'm gonna.
And that's it.
You can clear my calendar and everything. I'm not gonna do anything else than play guitar because one day I'm gonna be a rock star.
Yeah.
And it's like I've been working on that for 15 plus years now.
Mm.
Still working on it.
Mhm.
But because of that moment when I was 13, I
Yeah.
have refused to give up.
Mhm.
But yeah.
Yes.
Did
fun
you
stuff.
find though that learning guitar, did you take to it quite easily, or was it something you had to work hard at?
I loved it. So,
Mhm.
and I got pretty good at it at a pretty young age. And that's also an advice to any like aspiring guitarist. Study classical because it makes everything else so much easier.
Mm.
So,
Yeah.
But it wasn't like a lack of motivation, It was my parents couldn't keep me out of my guitar. I even slept with the guitar in the bed, I would play 7 hours a day,
Mm.
I would just play any chance I got because I liked it so much and I loved music. And it was like, I don't know, going to Disneyland for the first time every time. And I've never been to Disneyland, but I can imagine the kind of the excitement and curiosity.
Mm. Yeah.
Ah.
I started
there a
with
certain-
drums when I was 11, and I played
Uh-huh.
for 12 years. And then at some point, I developed interest at singing, and this is pretty much my first band.
Do you
where
want
I'm
to hear?
singing.
Do you want to hear how we found Aleksi?
Yes,
So that was, we had
please.
just like started me, Seba, the other guitarist, and Alex, the drummer, because we had this thrash metal band as well. So we was like Seba and Alex. They decided they're gonna form a rock and roll band, and then they informed me that I'm gonna be a part of the band, and I said okay.
Mm.
And
They
then,
didn't ask you.
Yeah,
They
they
just
just said that. Hey,
informed.
by the way, you're gonna be the guitarist for the band. I was like,
Yeah.
okay. see you next week then. Anyway, so we found Aleksi. We wrote a very humble application to. There's this like a local forum for musicians where you can buy gear, find musicians, whatever. It's called muusikoiden.net. Anyway, so we put the thread or the not like application or wanted. We made like this wanted like it read something like the world's best rock and roll band is looking for the world's best singer. And then it was like that.
Yeah.
And the content was like, all right, this is it. This is the only thing you will ever need because this band is the best band on the planet, you know.
Yeah.
And we really went all the way.
Yeah.
And then Aleksi, he wrote me a message because our previous bands have been playing together. And he sent me this wanted post. And he asked like, are you involved? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay, hold on. Then he sent us a video where he was like, yeah. And we were like, yeah, that's our guy. So yeah, basically.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
I love that. And then were you, Alex, were you natural then with the drums when you first started? I'm always fascinated by it because I'm not natural. I'm learning guitar at the moment, but I suck. It's so bad. But were you natural then with learning the drums?
Yeah, I was actually. It was very natural for me. I mean, I don't think I had any options back in the day. It was clear to me I'm going to be a drummer. I saw Kiss. There's a band called Kiss, and I was like, whoa, what is this? Okay, I want to do something like this. And it was clear to me from the start. But at the same time, I already had some interest towards singing. There just wasn't any rock bands in Lapland back in the day where I'm from. So I needed to move to Helsinki to find one. And I still love playing drums. It's the most fun instrument there is, really. And it was natural for me. I played all kinds of songs back in the day. I don't think I was anything special, but I enjoyed playing rock, and I still do. It was nice.
Yeah, it fascinates me because I have spoken to many musicians, and probably 98% are naturals. It just comes naturally to you guys, whereas some of us no. I'm not a musician, by the way. I just like to listen to music. So clear.
No, that's also like a lot of times I envy people who don't play music, who don't write music, who don't like have a like certain understanding or like of how to make music sort of way. You can just enjoy it, you know. And I do miss that a lot because it's been a very long time since I heard, you know, rock music for the first time. And I'm just like, what is this, you know? And so it's like, it's annoying to listen to music and without realizing you start dissecting it to pieces and be like, oh, that was fucking boring. Why did you take that chord? You could just take that chord, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
So it's nice to also like just enjoy music, really. It's really beautiful.
Yeah. That's actually a really good way to look at it, and a wee reminder for me as well. And what you've just said is so true, because there's times where I'm listening to a song with my son or my partner, and they're, like you said, dissecting the song, and I'm just rocking away going, this is great. And I see it a completely different way, because I'm emotionally just reacting to the song. I'm not dissecting anything, so that's actually a really cool
Lucky
way.
you.
Yeah. I'm gonna stay this way, I think.
Yeah, but it's like when you listen to a really good song, but then it's ruined because the snare sounds like garbage, you know. It's like, why? Yeah.
Can't relate, so thank God.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, we're going to play another song, and this time we're going with Dead Beat. What I'd like
that's
to
a heavy
know-
song.
What I'd like to ask is, what is your favorite song to perform live so far?
Well, not Deadbeat, but
Eyes Wide Shut. It's the most tender song we've come up with so far, and I really enjoy singing it. And it has Seba's best guitar solo
it
ever,
has, yes.
and I just can't help but to love it. But that's probably mine.
Yeah, for me, it's like why I said not Deadbeat is because I like a bit maybe the faster songs,
Mhm.
or at least mid tempo, because like concerts or playing gigs for me is just like adrenaline.
Yeah.
So then you're just there on stage like
Mhm.
5 seconds apart from being torn to pieces for 45 minutes straight. You're just like that. So that's sometimes you play the slower songs, you have to kind of like, okay, maybe take a breath, but it's also nice, But I think one of my favorites is God Has Cut You Down is a really good song, I think. So it kind of pumps, I get fired up. So
Me
I'm
too.
gonna say that. Yeah.
Me too. That was my other option. I really enjoy that one, and the crowd seems to enjoy every time as well.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. Speaking of performing, have you guys ever fucked up on stage but also managed to cover it like a professional?
Yes.
And again,
Every
this is one
time.
that
Just
can
ask
help.
how many.
This will
Sorry,
help
yes.
the new bands too, because this is obviously something that will come with experience. You know that there is going to be mishaps and things go wrong on stage. But yeah, if there's anything you can share.
Yes.
Yeah.
One thing is that accept the fact that there will always be mishaps.
Hmm.
But the difference is that, like with experience, you just stop caring about them.
Mm.
Okay? And then it starts becoming a fun thing.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you're enjoying the mishaps because you're laughing at them yourself. And then people are watching at you when you laugh at yourself.
Yeah.
And then they're having a laugh, But the thing is, like, the whole mishaps and fucking up thing, it happens.
Mm.
And especially if you play like, rock music and something that's more, it's all about the feeling.
Yeah.
And no one cares like if you played 100% or not,
Mm.
No, like really, no one gives a shit.
Hmm.
So it's all about how does it feel, how did the evening feel? You can fall and make a face plant on the stage and bleed all over the place and have a good laugh and all kinds of stuff, and people can be like, oh, that was such a good show, so don't get too stuck around and just have fun with it,
Yeah.
because then everybody has fun.
I think
Yeah.
we're pretty comfortable with making mistakes live because we play live. It's 100% live. There's no backing tracks or metronome or anything really. It's all about the 5 guys on stage, as well as in studio. It's always live.
With the
bass.
mistakes as well.
Yeah, exactly. The bass is 100% live, and the vocals are done afterwards, obviously, but they're also live with no altercation whatsoever. So yeah, I think we're pretty comfortable with making mistakes because, as Kappa said, we laugh at each other's mistakes on stage, and that's fun, and it affects the crowd as well. I believe we get feedback quite a lot that people enjoy when they see that we're enjoying the show as well.
Because the only thing that matters is how does this band make me feel.
Yeah.
Whether I see them live or whether I listen to it, doesn't matter. If the mistakes are there per se. Of course, it depends on the mistake, and it has a lot to do with what happens after the mistake or whatever.
Yeah.
But like listening to our studio recordings filled with mistakes, you can listen to Pink Floyd full of mistakes there, because it's not about the like, okay, let's make the perfect thing ever. It's about just let's make something that feels like something,
It's human.
Yeah.
It's organic. You're supposed to make mistakes.
Yeah, that's how you learn and grow, or whatever they tell you on the internet. But
yeah, exactly. And the human side of it will always be there, and like not AI. Don't get me started on that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially that one is a hard topic for me as well.
No, it makes me cross. And just on that, because there are so many people talking about it now. And as a music fan, like I'm literally a fan of music. I love so many different genres, so many different bands. And I personally feel that AI is also frightening the new bands that are starting out, because I get a lot of them messaging me about that too, where they are starting to feel a bit like overwhelmed. The AI is maybe going to try to take over, and what's the point then in them even trying? And I just keep trying to say, like, there are people like me that are fans of real music, human made music, and I think that will always prevail in the end anyway.
Yeah. And I believe that when this AI thing is more and more common these days, there's always going to be room for actually organic music that sounds like it's performed by a human live, because, well, people really need it. They want to hear that kind of thing, not the polished or AI thing. I'm a firm believer of that, really.
Yeah. You can't see them in a live show either.
Yeah, that's true.
I have so many opinions about this thing that I'm not sure if it's worth going into it, because oh my god. Yeah, it's
a robbery, basically.
yeah,
Absolutely.
it's again
Yeah.
No,
that's
it's
basically
not
how I
nice.
feel about this.
Yeah. I mean, we all do, all musicians do, all bands do, all real music fans do as well. And unfortunately, like I just learned recently, I didn't even know this, that there are people out there that don't really listen to music. And, they're happy to listen to something that is AI. They don't care. There's no connection to music. And that was so weird to me, because I always thought it was normal that you're everybody just relates to music. I always thought that's madness to me.
Yeah, it's also funny, like one of the highest paid artists in Finland is some young geezer that makes music basically for TikTok, and who has also openly like on interviews he said that I don't like that he doesn't really like music. He just does it for he found a way to play the game, and he did a really good job at it.
Yeah.
And he made a fortune, and for that I salute him, because why not? But it's kind of like the times we are living, it's super weird, because like, well, I mean, like with AI, anybody can do music, and it's a fun thing. And but it's like interesting to see how this thing evolves. And because there's been like talks in the Finnish media already about AI musicians, which caused a minor outbreak here like a week ago. Everybody's like, what the fuck? But
well, musicians are defending each other, luckily. And like I said, I believe there's always going to be a demand for organic music. Especially when the times change. I believe live music is still going to be something that people really enjoy. So I'm not too worried. I am worried, but I'm not like I haven't given up hope just yet.
But I'm also looking forward for the change when eventually maybe someday the mainstream stops pursuing perfection.
Mm.
That it kind of starts appreciating the rough around the edges type of things, and not to be like this has to be perfect everything, and everything needs to be so perfect that let's just have everything as backing tracks, because the backing tracks sounds better than the musicians on stage, you know. So that's like the whole again back to the perfection thing. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, rock and roll will always win. It always wins in the end. That's what I say. There's plenty of us out there, plenty of fans that do still want the real thing and want to go to shows. And as long as that keeps going, and we want the rebels, we want the edginess, we don't want perfection. So hopefully more of us will keep coming. You know.
Yes.
But look, piggybacking off that just a little bit for a bit of fun now, because we're coming to the end of this, and this is again one of my favorite questions to ask bands, and I actually asked the Vantages this recently, and it was
great band. Really good.
Yeah,
band.
they're so good. And like honestly, Anton had me in stitches. He's so funny. But the time travel question, this is my favorite one. So it's basically if you could take the band to any decade to perform. Now you could go back in time, or you could take a risk and go forward in time. When would you choose? And bear in mind that you have to use the technology of that decade. You can't bring, you know, the modern technology to say the 80s. So what decade would you choose?
I'd probably, you know, I don't want to live in the past, so I would probably go to 2100.
Oh,
and just be like, this is shit right here, you know.
Yeah.
This is how we did it in the good old days.
Yeah.
You might have read about us in the history books. We're back, you know. So yeah, maybe that.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
I was about to say like 1993 or something, but that would be.
Well, yeah. I mean, we might have had a career, but
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a simple time. I don't think it was better on all fronts. It definitely wasn't. But it was something I would have liked to witness live. Sadly, I'm too young for that. But like
I'm
early
not.
90s, that would
90s
be.
rock.
Early 90s would have been nice for me. But future is the one that really interests me.
Interesting that you both are interested in the future, because hardly anyone, I think only one other band chose the future. Most people want to go back in time. But then we went down a rabbit hole, you know, of Back to the Future rules and meeting your future self. And it was a rabbit hole we went down. It was good times.
yeah.
But look, we are coming to the end of this, and we're going to play out with the song Low Life. Which it's a huge song, like over 2 million streams, damn. And to me, it's a good old-fashioned metal song. I actually really, really love that one. And what I'd love to ask you guys is, do you have an album in your collection that might surprise your fans that's maybe not expected?
Yes.
100%.
Go, tell me.
Now that's a tough question.
Several. I enjoy Finnish light dance music, you know. Like yeah, exactly. What's it called?
I was
in
dancing
English?
to Kake Randelin with my partner today. Yeah.
That's my childhood music, you know. This traditional Finnish soft hits. I enjoy those. Those are my childhood songs, really. I grew up to Finnish music. Then I found Kiss, and I was like, okay,
Everything changed.
this is actually better. How about you?
I listen to so much different type of music. I don't listen to that much rock and roll, but when I listen to it's 90s or older.
Yeah.
But then but then it's I don't know what to answer. Oh my goodness gracious. I don't know because there's so much. What a disappointing answer to not have an answer. It's like, oh my god. But
one of the reasons I like to ask this one is just, you know, to help prevent elitism in the metal world.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because like for me, when I was listening to like the likes of Slayer, Sepultura, those types of bands, Calm Corpse, like, I was really heavy stuff. But then new metal came out, and I got into the likes of Slipknot and even Deftones and Linkin Park and things like that. But when I was listening to them and enjoying them, there were the elitists that would give me terrible roastings for liking these bands. Now you fast forward 20 years, and these bands are now legacy bands like Slipknot and things like that. And the guys who would have roasted me at the time are now saying that the band is cool. So that's where I like, you know, because I want kids to just feel like they can like whatever the hell they want. And they don't have to feel bullied into, you know, not feeling free enough, you know, to say the bands that they like. So that's the reason I asked that type of question.
Totally.
That's a really good everything what you just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then no, that's the like whole elitism thing, because I recognize myself. I mean, you know, when I was a teenager, I was like a trash guy, you know. I would walk around and be like, fuck you. And then like, fuck those emos, they're like bullet for my Valentine, to hell with them, you know, and all that stuff. And then at some point, gladly I grew up and I was like, that was stupid. I'm happy I still have friends, you know. But yeah, the whole elitism thing is like, I know there's like a heavy like tribe thing to it, because every I believe every person needs belonging. They need to feel like they have their tribe, you know, whether it be like the music scene or your art scene or your family and your friends, like your tribe, so to speak. So it's important,
but it's not like
tribes can be pretty stupid sometimes, you know.
And
there's a saying like porukassa tyhmyys tiivistyy, which means that when there's one stupid person in a bunch, it's a huge risk that you soon have 5 stupid people in the bunch. So it's kind of like, just listen to whatever you like. There is no such thing as guilty pleasures. Coldplay is absolutely amazing.
It is.
And Maurice Ravel, the classical composer, and his 14 minutes epic track Bolero, you know, which I grew up with. That was my go-to car stereo song. But
I don't think I have any more like this rock credibility type of thinking, you know. I'm a huge pop fan, really. That's something I really, really enjoy, because usually those melodies are just better. They just are. And that's the fact. So why argue with that? I mean, I still enjoy rock and metal and all that. That's my go-to music. But I listen to all kinds of music. I'm a huge fan of all kinds of great songs. And great song is a great song. It doesn't matter what genre it is, really. I don't care. If it sounds good.
If it feels good, it's good. And if you don't like it, then it's just something you don't like. Doesn't mean that does absolutely not represent everybody's opinion, you know. So there's music you like and music you personally don't like, you know, and it's okay.
Yeah. Exactly. And also, if you're a metal musician, don't be afraid to take influences from other genres as well. Because if you only listen to one kind of metal, you're probably going to just circle the whole damn thing. Again, it's going to be something pretty similar to what you listen to yourself or what you play by yourself. Don't be afraid to listen to something else, because it might give you ideas.
Brilliant advice. Absolutely brilliant advice. And look, we're going to wrap this up now. And for the final question, I would just like to ask you guys, what are you most proud of so far in your musical journey?
That I have come up to the point personally where I don't care anymore. I am comfortable with who I am as a musician and my skills as a guitar player.
Mm.
And I'm so happy that I am not in that part anymore where I was constantly chasing, no, I need to be better, I need to oh, there's this guy here, damn, I really gotta up my chops, and I really need to make this like a running a marathon instead of just enjoying it, because then when I let go of that, I started enjoying everything much more.
Yeah.
And I got much more out of it. So that's like what I'm super happy of, in the way that, hey, I'm comfortable with myself and not perfect, and there's totally like better musicians, but there's only one Kasper out there, and that's me, so that'll do.
Yeah,
Love that.
that's a great answer. Really, I can't help but to agree with that. To me personally, hearing from a young person who really enjoys our music, and there are several, and I'm super happy about it. Somebody really thinks that our music has saved that person.
Yeah.
I've had this we've had this kind of feedback that your music saved my life. I don't think there's anything bigger than that, really. It doesn't get better than that. If it affects somebody that much, what we've done just pretty much for fun, and because we really want to do it and we really enjoy ourselves, and it affects somebody that much, it's huge, really. That's one of the biggest accomplishments so far.
Yeah, which is the main thing that music is too, and it's it's therapy, it's healing, it's connection, and it's human.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing of all. Well, look, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me and chatting music. It's been awesome.
Thank you.
It's been a great deal of fun.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Thank you.
I have laughed a lot. And here it is, guys. Low life.